Hello, beautiful bookish people. My name is Hannah, and firstly, look at my sweater.
Aww.
It's finally cold enough in Texas that I can wear sweaters. And secondly, we're doing the Myers-Briggs Book Tag. And this was created by Jaded Reader, who is amazing, brilliant.
This is so unique, and I love your mind.
And I was tagged by my good friend Vendi, you're the best, love you girl, to do it. So without further ado, I think we should just jump on into it. So if you don't know, the Myers-Briggs is a personality test that defines who you are as a person. And my personality is ENFJ, which is the giver. And so Jade is amazing and a genius and designed personal questions to go along with each letter that you get. So my first letter is extrovert. Extrovert. Being alone has its perks, but what's the point of a good book if it can't be shared? What are 3 all-time favorite books that you would love everyone to read and talk about?
So, Jade, that's extremely hard.
So I'm just gonna do the 3 books that I've loved the most this year. The first one being Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. I read this book for the first time this year, and I'm so happy I did. Everyone was raving and talking about it, so I was like, oh fine, Rebecca's been on my shelf forever, so I'll just read it because it's been talked about so much. And I'm so happy I did. If you're like doubting reading this, like definitely pick it up because it's like one of my all-time favorites, and I think it's pushing against Jane Eyre, which has been my favorite classic since like high school. Like reading Rebecca, it was making me feel like I was reading Jane Eyre again, which for me is very high praise. The second one I want to talk about is A Long Way Down by Jason Reynolds. And this is about a boy who is seeking revenge for his brother, and he has to go on an elevator ride all the way down. But on his way down, he's meeting people from his past and future and all that stuff. So I just want to add to the ecosphere of booktube and say,
this is really good. I really enjoyed it. It's really short. You can read it in one sitting, I promise. I loved it.
And number 3, I want to talk about Jane Unlimited. And Vendi kept talking about this, and I'm so happy you did, Vendi, because I loved it. So this is about a girl named Jane who has a wealthy aunt, and she invites her to her house one fine evening, and it's kind of a choose your own adventure. All these certain different things happen in different worlds, and it's done really well. Christian Cashore handles it superbly. So question number 2, intuition. Some books are meant to be understood and others meant to be explored. What book or character stands for an idea that is deeply meaningful to you? So this one was not hard because the first time I read it, I thought of Little Do We Know by Tamara Ireland Stone. I just read this year, but I wish I had this book in high school because the things that Hannah and like are going through in this book resonated with me like so deeply. If you don't know what it's about these 2 friends, Hannah and Emery, and they're kind of going through a rough patch in their friendship. Like secrets have been shared that don't need to be shared, and you know, relationships are being redefined. I loved this book. I highly recommend it. So question number 3 is feeling. Not everything needs to be realistic. Where is the fun in a world that has limits? Which fantasy world do you find so atmospheric you slip inside and never want to leave? A book with good vibes. I just recently read this book, and it was The Goose Girl by Shannon Hale. I listened to it on audiobook, and I don't know why.
I've been snoozing on this book for so long.
I had like this distinctive memory that Emery, my good friend, recommended it to me like when we were 13, and I was like, no, I'm over the princess stage.
I want to read The Hunger Games.
And I was like being a butt about it and like not taking her recommendation, and so I finally read it and I was like, Hannah, where have you been? This is amazing. The thing I really liked about it is like usually fantasy worlds like depend on their world or their government to depict what their society is like, but Shannon Hale depicted their world from the characters, which I thought was really interesting. It's a very like classic setting fantasy world. I just wish I could be a people charmer. That's a reference to the book. Judgment. All play and no work leads to chaos, disorder, and anarchy. You know it, Jade. And how do you strike a balance between reading, booktube, and personal life to better use your time? And
I'm still trying to figure that out.
like, I have a schedule. Like, I have classes all week, and the weekend is usually when I film. So I'll have like this list of ideas that I'll look over and decide what I want to do over the weekend. And like that usually has to define like if I've read a book, can I do a tag, can I recommend anything for these books? But like, don't be like me, I'm not a good example. I like binge watch booktube at like 2 in the morning just so I can like keep up with things. So
yeah, don't be like me. I don't have an answer.
And I'm a Libra. I'm supposed to be balanced. ENFJ, the giver. A giver with so much to give, and you could give it to everyone if you could. What book do you believe would be universally loved? A book that you could give to opposites and watch them unite in at least this one common good. My first answer was going to be The Book Thief, but I think y'all have heard me talk about The Book Thief too much. So I'm going to say Wonder by RJ Palacio? I'm so sorry, RJ. I just want to say it's not you, it's me. And also, look at that face of sorrow. I'm sorry. Yikes. So, Wonder is about this kid named Augie who has a facial deformality, and he's not like other kids. He doesn't really fit in, and it's all about Augie trying to navigate middle school and making friends and trying to find people that will be good for him. And it's just really heartwarming and really sweet. So if you like read this and you don't like it, you're a monster and I don't trust you. I don't understand anybody who could dislike Wonder. Or at least not understand the overarching message and understand like it's a good thing. So that concludes the video, and I'm not sure who has done this tag before. I'll have to do some research, and I'll tag everybody in the description below. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Keep reading and all that jazz. But what point of it, wait, shoot, look. Who has a facial, oh dang it. Do you want to know why I have Chip on the shelf where I keep Divergent? It's because my respect for it slowly chipped away. I'm so funny. Oh, dang it. Look at me in like a yellow chair by my shelves. Leah, I'm coming after your brand.